So the challenge is real. Something will happen. We need to build a model. We need to make sure we can analyze it and keep analyzing it and expand and grow. But what are we going to do? We've got something lying around the office. Can we make sense of it? Do we know what we need to do? Let's go through and find out. Hi, my name's Ross, the creator and founder of Geordie Consulting and Geordie Intelligence, the YouTube channel you're watching right now. What we did last week was we talked, didn't we, about what goes into a semantic model in terms of the fact and the dimension tables. And this, for all Microsoft are calling them semantic models now, data sets was what they used to be called, and kind of that makes sense from a lot of other platforms as well. The idea of fact and dimension tables is fairly universal in terms of analysis. I've even heard it mentioned, is Power BI limited? It still needs fact and dimension tables, as if it was a bad thing. And I'm sure there's arguments that can be made to say this is like a legacy way it doesn't work. But what is true is it works well enough, and it's robust enough, and it's tough enough to be able to cope with everything you're going to throw at it. So while it's not perfect, it's the way we do it, and it's the way I'm pretty sure we're going to keep doing it as long as Power BI is Power BI. So I thought, let's look at one of our data sets that we've got and let's rebuild. Let's go back to start with it and rebuild it. So I've got a nice simple one to work with. We'll work through it and we'll build a nice model today. So here we are, okay? food.gov.uk/food hygiene, right? If you're in the UK, this is kind of what you know. Okay, every restaurant, every food establishment, anywhere that wants to sell food to be eaten there, kind of thing, or eaten immediately, has to have a food rating. Okay, so they have this food rating. It's 1 to 5, where 1 is, or even 0, I think they go down to, is like, don't go there, right? Versus all the way up to 5, which is like, yeah, it's pretty good. Where, I've seen it discussed, how far down should you be willing to go? Is it? I'm not going to get into that today. What we are going to do though is we're going to come to this site here, and at the top you can see we've got here this food hygiene ratings. Okay, zoom in a bit for you. Okay, so we're going to click there, right? And here you can see there's the 0 to 5, food rating, as I call them, the scores on the doors. You've got a legal duty to display the scores somewhere in plain sight within your restaurant or your food establishment. Okay, we can go through. We can look for restaurants by name or by location. But what we can do further down, let's zoom out of here, and see we can download the data. So let's go to download the data. Okay, and we can say, well, we want all the data, or we could get little bits of data. So I thought for today, we just do little bits of data. And so for you, pick a little bit of data. So here we go. We see we've got the all local authorities. We can say, I want everything. We're not going to do that. We're going to go through and we're going to pick something from here, all right? So I'm going to scroll down a little bit and get down to the northeast because, we're going to do Newcastle. Of course we're going to do Newcastle. Okay, so we can see northeast here, Newcastle upon Tyne, and I can click on it and it'll show me the file that we're going to use, all right? Now, this is an XML file. In a data sense, just think of it like a CSV file, or a simple spreadsheet. Okay. In essence, each of these is a record for one establishment, and then it carries on. So we've got these establishment details, and they'll carry on, and it's how that'll build a data set. Okay. It's a very structured way that everything can be placed in. You've got data in there, clearly labeled in a way that's consistent. Okay. So at the top here, we've got a URL. So I'm just going to copy that. So we can right click and copy it. Okay, and then we're going to go into Power BI Desktop. So we'll start up Power BI Desktop. When it comes through, we're going to go with a nice blank report. Okay. And then what we'll do is we'll go to the modeling tab. We won't go to the modeling tab. And then what we'll do is, from the Home tab, under Transform Data, we're going to go to Transform Data. So here we've got this window, which kind of flummoxes so many people with what am I doing with Power BI? I've got this blank screen. Okay, the blank screens of Power BI, even this one, I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do here with it. Okay, we could say we're going to get data from another source, we could do this, but it's kind of, what am I doing? So let's go through what we're doing. So we're going to go from other, we're going to pick web, okay, for what we're doing today. It's going to open up, I'm going to paste in that URL that we've got. Okay, so you can see, here we go, ratings.gov.food.gov.uk, API, open data files, and the code for Newcastle. I'm going to click OK. Right, it's going to come up and it's going to say, oh, what kind of connection do you want? Obviously for you, for your business, if it's business data, you'd either want to be using organizational account, you might be using a web API, you might be using basic or Windows or anything like that. Okay, for here, because it's public data, we are using anonymous. And to be honest with you, for a lot of your APIs, because of the way many APIs are structured, you are connecting anonymously to it. And the key is actually part of the connection string that goes through. It's not great, it's not ideal, but this is something that goes on. So we're going to go through it, we're going to say, I'm going to connect at this level. So the open data files, we could go all the way down to the actual file level. That would create a connection to that file. We want to create a connection to the open data files. Okay. If you go too high, potentially you get rejected by the web server. So it's one of those where you might need to dial this in your environment. Okay. But for here, you're going to pick that and hit connect. Okay. So it's going to go away and it's going to establish that connection to that file and say, right, now what do you want me to do with it? So we're going to open this and we see we've got this establishment details. I don't know if you remember, we had establishment details as the key that we're identifying things by. So we're going to pick establishment details. We could be really simple here and just hit load at this point. Okay. If I selected load, we've got what we discussed last week as a flat file. Okay. Everything's now through as one. It's not going to be optimal. It's not going to be the most efficient. Given the size of the data set, be probably fine with it. No big deal. Okay. Nothing. But what we want to learn is we want to learn how to do proper data, don't we? Okay, so we're going to hit transform data. Okay, in many ways, I wish Microsoft would have transform data as the green one and load as one of the grey ones. But anyway, transform data. I've said that every time we do these type of videos. It's definitely how I feel about it. Okay, and we can see at the top here, transform column type. So Power BI has taken an attempt already to try and build appropriate data types based on the data that's in the column. And if we scroll across, we can see we've got lots of different data in here. Okay, so we've already got something that's usable for us. Okay, I'm going to zoom out of here just so it's a bit easier for me. And unfortunately, I don't think there isn't a way I can zoom these in without zooming in. If we come further over here, you see we've got lots of other things. We've got some of these complex data types that you get within Power BI, especially with XML formats. So we've got here rating, date. And if I click on the white space beside the name table, okay, what it does is it opens. So I click here, it gives you a preview of actually what is in there. Okay, so we see, oh, it's element text, it's the date that it was inspected in. Okay, and it's to do with the way XML is packaged that it sometimes has these things in it. It's not uncommon. Anytime you deal with XML, you're going to probably have to deal with these expansions. Further over, we've got scores, and these are the sub-scores. So again, if we click on the white space just to the right of it, maybe even just below the little square arrows, and we come down, we can see this is 3 bits of information. Okay, so hygiene, structural, confidence and management. Okay, 0, 5, 0, that's kind of bad. Which one have we picked? They got a 5? Wow, okay. That's interesting, to say the least. Okay, we can carry on. We've got, because there's one more from memory over here, we've got the geocode, okay? And if we've got geocode selected, if we come right down, you can see that's latitude and longitude, which is how we would be able to place these on a map. Okay, so pretty excellent. We can see what we're doing with these. Okay, and we're starting to now get to a point, aren't we, where we're going, right, okay, I can see what's happening. We can see new ratings pending, so which ones are pending a new rating. We've got the type of establishment that they are, or the rating key. We've got the rating key in terms of, are they awaiting inspection? Are they exempt, what's going on with it, what's their score, as well, the rating values. See, so we've got the key and values, definitely always good to have 2 of those. If we come over here, see, we've got business type. Okay, so we've got some numbers for the business type ID, and we've got a business type name. Okay, so we've got type name and ID. What does that mean? Yeah, so we're starting to think now, aren't we? Okay, so we can see straight away this is going to be a dimension, isn't it? All right, so we want to make an establishments fact table, don't we? We want to have a ratings, we want an establishments dimension, a ratings fact table. Business type will be another dimension. Are there any other dimensions that we should have in here? Do we need local authority? Is local authority going to be a dimension? And the reality of this, yes, it would be. Okay, it would be if we were doing multiple local authorities. Okay, so at this point we're doing one local authority. We don't necessarily need to do it think of it as a dimension, do we? But if we did multiples, which of course we've done before, potentially we'd pull these out into a separate area and we'd use local authority code as a way to link the score or to link to the establishment. Okay, because that would be what we would do, isn't it? And this is one of those things. So we've got this structure now. So what we need to do is think about what that looks like in a model. Okay, so if we go to our whiteboard, so a new whiteboard. Goodness me, no. Right. So what we have is the idea, don't we, that we're going to need scores as a fact table. All right, so we know scores is going to be one of our fact tables. We're then going to have local authority, dimension, doesn't look right. Okay, let me just copy that and paste that. I'm going to copy and paste. Yeah, okay. That's my URL that we used. Okay. It's got local authority. What was the other one we had? Do you remember? My goodness me, this is being terrible today. Can I pick the right things I want to update? Oh, I give up. Okay, so we're going to have dates, aren't we? Because there's dates that these have been done, aren't there? Okay. We're going to have potentially we're going to have scores because establishments have scores. And of course, then that leads us to the most important, doesn't it? Where we're going to have establishment. Okay. So with those, we can now start to piece together kind of the way it should go. Yeah. Oh, we had business type, didn't we? So if we go Control V, establishment type. So from here, we can start to say, right, establishment type is going to link to that, isn't it? Okay. We're going to have this. I think I've picked straight, haven't I, instead of curved, right? This is going to link to here. Scores are, of course, going to link to scores fact, and dates will, of course, link to there. Okay, so suddenly we've got a model that's going to have a structure. There's a clear structure that it will have. And we could turn around and say, well, we're going to put our dimensions at the top. Okay, it's not going to move the arrows around automatically, is it? So, because of course that'd be too sensible. Do this, okay? Do that. we'd have establishment there, we'd have okay, so we've got a clear structure that we're going to see. All right, okay, I can understand how that's going to go now. So rather than it being a simple fact table, what this means is we can suddenly start to say, give me the average score by day. Okay, we probably wouldn't want to know, but you might find if we do an analysis, we might get to a point where actually the day of week actually is impacting or affecting the score that's provided. Is it more likely that my restaurant is going to get failed if it's inspected on a Friday or on a Monday or a Wednesday? Have we got something else going on? Things like that, average score by day. We'd have daily assessments. Okay, presumably we need to be able to show daily, weekly, monthly assessments. Yeah? Daily, weekly, monthly. Okay, they're all related to dates. We're going to have scores dimensions. So we're going to, again, these are all going to tie back because we've said scores as a dimension. Is that right? Is that wrong? It's a difficult one. Part of me says it's right. Part of me says it's wrong. So we might turn around and say, this is a big no. We don't want that. Okay, there's nothing wrong with this at this point. We need to go through though and understand what we're doing and why we're doing it. And there's a structural reason for it. It might be that having scores as a separate dimension makes sense. Because, for example, you might want to be able to present information about the dimension. So one of the things we do in the report is we actually show the scores on the doors, little image of the scores on the doors. I can't remember if it's a PNG or an SVG, but we've got a link going back to that. So that's associated with a separate dimension. So it says your score is 5. It will then present 5 links to this, which gives you that. We could also put information in about what a score of 5 means. This is what that means. Potentially as well, you've got the sub-scores that potentially, again, need to go in there. They're 1 to 5 or 0 to 5 as well. So what does a 0 to 5 structural mean? What does a 0 to 5 management mean? Again, those would be additional dimensions of scores. So there'd be potentially then, that's 4 scores dimensions that you might put in. Okay? Nothing wrong with it. And we've got the establishment ID. Well, local authority is a separate ID, which is linked back to a separate, and establishment type, because we're going to want to be able to compare restaurants with takeaways with anything else. Okay. So we've suddenly built the schema quite easily with this. So we'll not do with the scores today. We'll not bring the scores. We'll leave the scores separate or leave it as part of the fact, which would always be part of the fact because you'd have that information in. It might be an ID, but in this case, given it's already a number, we would leave it in. And it would simply be there's an ID, or that's used as an ID of a dimension table. So again, IDs in this sense, we have primary keys, which is the key in the dimension side. That's the primary key. And then the foreign key, which is the one on the other side. And the way you think of it is one to many. So one primary key can be used many times when it is a foreign key. Okay? And it's foreign because it's from a different table. Okay. Let's go back to here. Okay, so from here, we now know what we need to do, don't we? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say disable load on this, because this is now going to be our basic starting point that we want all our tables to be built from. Okay, so what do I mean by all our tables built from? Let's go here and let's reference this first. Okay, and what we're going to say here is this is business type. Okay, and names in Power BI, the arguments are clear. I still favour like kind of a thingy case. No, I want to say camel case, but it's not camel case I use. It's got another name because I capitalized the first letter. But yeah, every word mashed together, capitalize the first letter. But again, the AI argument comes back and it said, well, use proper names. So business type. Previously, you would have been told, label it dimension or dim or D or something. Now we're saying with the rise of AI, use proper full names. So I'm going to call it business type. Okay, and you're going, but you've got all this other stuff in it. Why do you want business type? It can't be business type. So we'll zoom back out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to select business type and business type ID. Well, I'll pick business type ID first and then business type. And I'm going to right click and remove other columns. Okay. And then I'm going to select both of them and right click and remove duplicates. Okay, so this will give us a distinct list of the combinations that we've got. Okay, and what we should really do is have a double check to make sure that these are unique. Yeah, so that the name is being used, too many times or anything like that. Stranger things have happened. Okay, and we can see, yeah, that works, that's fine. Just to make my life easier, I'm going to sort that alphabetically, and yeah, we can see they all flow through. Okay, sorted high to low, that makes sense, or low to high. Okay, so I've now built my first dimension. That wasn't too difficult, was it? We come back to our assignment establishment details. I'm going to right click on it again. I'm going to reference that. And this time we're going to call this local authority. Okay. So for this, we'll do some more stuff with this, won't we? So we're going to zoom out of here. Going to scroll over to here where we've got all the local authority fields, where we've got local authority email address, website, but this is the bit we want, isn't it? Local authority code. So we'll get all those through. Got those, we're going to right click, and then we're going to remove other columns again. Okay. So we've now got that, and then what we'll do is we'll right click and we'll remove duplicates. So we should end up with just one. Okay, if we had lots of data, we'd have lots. We've just got one, or we've got 10, or we've got however many we've got. Okay, so we've got that now. I'm going to right click again, and I'm going to reference it. And this time, which one do we do? We've got this, we've got this. We need to do the establishment, don't we? So let's do the establishment. Okay. Okay, so establishment. So for establishment, it's a little bit different, isn't it? Okay, because we want this FIF, Food Hygiene Rating Standards ID, which is clearly the ID of the establishment. We want the local authority business ID because that's something the local authority is given. So if we needed to talk to them, we would use that ID, wouldn't they? And the idea being that the local authority have an ID that they give them, and the Food Standards Agency have an ID they give them. The business name, business type ID, we don't need the type, do we? Because we've got a type as a separate dimension. It's address information. We don't want the ratings value because that can change over time, that could be different, okay? And again, if we were caching this, we'd be able to do that proper change over time. So we're going to pick local authority code, and then we'll pick geocode and this address too. Okay. I think we should, not so sure about that column. So we'll right click, we're going to remove other columns. Okay, and what you can see is, oh, I've brought a table column in here. We need to change that. So we're going to expand this through. So we're going to click on the little thing at the top. You want to expand it? I do. I'm going to untick to keep the column name. Don't need geocode, do we? And it's going to expand that through. And then I'm going to say both of these are decimal numbers. And then what we can do as well is we can, when we come through into Power BI, we'll give them a data type of part of the geography, okay, for it. So we've got this structure that we're starting to build, haven't we? Okay, so we've got our dimensions largely built. Okay, we'll do something different with calendar So I want to experiment, and we'll try one of the new calendars in Power BI to build that. So what we're going to do here, though, is we're going to say, right, let's go. Next, we need to bring in the fact table, isn't it? So we're going to reference this again. Ratings. Okay. So for ratings, we're going to keep the F8, the food standards rating, okay, because that needs to be that should be the unique one. We're going to keep. I'll tell you what, let me come up here. I need to zoom out, don't I? Of course I do. Okay, so we've got that. We're going to keep scores. My goodness, I'm clicking in all the wrong places at the moment. I need ratings value, sorry. And let's keep scores as well. There's a schema type, because that impacts them going through. If you want to do different parts of the UK, they have different schemas. Okay, so we got that. And then I'm putting this, because I'm just saying, I'm really not sure where this should go. Ideally, that should be a date, shouldn't it? But we'll, anyway. Okay, so we've got ratings date there as well. So I'm going to right click, remove other columns. So I now have a list of values here. And of course, scores, we can expand this through. Oh, everything's in there. Brilliant. Of course it is. No, we knew it was there, didn't we? It was rating date. Here was the other one I was thinking. Need to expand that. Just want the element text. Okay, keep that. So we're going to call this rating date. Let's make those dates. Okay, and that worked. We've got here. So we've got these three, which we want to be whole numbers. Okay, so we've got whole numbers for there. Right, so all of a sudden we've pieced together everything that we need for our data model. Okay, and this is not too difficult, was it? That was relatively simple. We're going to close and apply this. So we hit close and apply, and it's now going to read this data through. Okay, so we've gone through and done what in data modeling terms would be the extract, the transform, and the load. So ETL. Now it is in a structure like here that we can model against. We have tables that can be modeled. Now, by default, Power BI will say, oh, this is what we think you want this to look like. Okay. So that's an interesting one here. We've got this rate. Oh, I've picked the wrong ID. That's why. Okay, that's fine. So that's good. Again, that shows you need to be careful when it's doing joins. Okay. So we wanted, oh no, we did want the join on that, didn't we? But why is that showing? That's a bit of a concern. That's showing duplicate IDs. Oh, showing one-to-one. Okay, so it's one-to-one. That's fine. So one-to-one is fine. There's the two link, there's one-to-one. Obviously, if we were doing this properly, we potentially want to have lots of copies of this table. If you were doing this in your business, where you have these tables, typically come as an export from a system, you do the same. From memory, when I've built this, we've just merged the two together because of it being a one-to-one relationship. But I thought, for the sake of this, it makes it really clear, doesn't it, that we've got dimensions and the fact down here, okay? So that's important to understand. And then what we can do here is where we've got the establishment, we've got this longitude, haven't we? So we're going to say here on the right-hand side, data type, decimal. We want the format for that, not format, sorry, it's under advanced. Data category for this is longitude, isn't it? It's going to be longitude. And then likewise for latitude, data category is latitude. Okay, and we can see the icon changes to show its little globe. It's there. Okay, and we can do the same with postcode. So again, that's one that can be classified. We could say this is zip, because again, it's US, or postal code, sorry. Postal code, fantastic. I think there's a city name. Is there a city name? I can't remember. It's been so long since I've done this. No, there isn't. I'm sure I saw a city. Anyway, okay. Probably address line 3 or something. So we've got this, haven't we? We can start to build that. We can start to structure. I see a data model taking shape. Yeah? Okay. So even from here, we could start to do some simple analysis because we've got this structure where we've got entities that are building. We can see average ratings by, even by business type here. So where we've got here, and again, this is probably why we need to have the ratings separately, which is, not the ratings separately, the scores separately, because, yes, that makes perfect sense. So if we have a look in here, under establishment, sorry, ratings even, okay, under ratings, I don't know what I'm doing. Under ratings value, you see we've got these 3 text values here for them, okay? So what we would probably need to do is build this up as an ID, so that the score would be, say, a 0 or a null, so that it doesn't get included in calculations. We need to check and see what we're doing and think about how we're building things. Because what you probably want to be able to do is say, what's the average rating or average scores or anything like that based on the business type ID. So what's our restaurants looking like? What are our this looking like? What are our that's looking like? And that's all going to come from the number side of this. But then you'd find if you try to do numbers, calculations like averages or that with text, it doesn't like that. So you need to think of ways of doing it. A simple way would be just to ignore them, okay, and exclude them from the charts. But again, it would be nice to be able to place them on a map and have one visual showing, well, these are the average scores, this is what's going on. So it's worth trying to think through what you're doing. So as I say, from a simple point of view, okay, and I'm not going to do DAX with this, okay, from a simple point of view, if we went through and said, right, for our establishments, let's go with latitude, longitude, and let's place that on a map. Where's the map? Going blind. Azure Maps is this one, isn't it? Yep. Oh, it's because they've decided it wants to summarize them. Don't summarize. Don't summarize. Okay, so all of a sudden we've got those. If we then come through into rating and say, right, we want to put a rating value as the legend, we can see. So we can choose, go, oh, there are the exempts. We can see the exempts. We can hover over it, shows us some information about them. Okay. Again, with maps, real bugbear, you can't have a field that goes over there. So we could put, for example, the establishment name, so we put business name in as the tooltip, okay, and then that would hover over it, it will show you that's the name of the business. But it gives me all the other information as well. What I really want is just to be able to see, as we zoomed in and it got to a reasonable number, what's the name of that business, okay? Again, this is a bugbear I have with it. So we've got exempt, we've got awaiting publications, we can see how many places are awaiting publication. So we've just got one place awaiting it. And then we can see those awaiting inspections. And we can see the 5s, we can see the 0s, there's one place that's got 0, we can see the 1s, 2s. So we've got this view, haven't we? That was quick, that was easy. It didn't take a lot of time and effort to build, okay? The one thing we've got left to do is we need to build this date table, isn't it? Okay, so what we're going to do, so the quickest way to do the calendar is we need to label fields within a calendar is how you do it. Right? So what I'm going to do is we've got a calendar that's shared multiple times. Okay, I've got a TMDL version of it. I'm just going to put that in here. So I've got a TMDL. I'm just going to Control V, paste it in, and I'm just going to hit apply. Okay. Okay, so that's all worked fine. Looks fine to me. Something might change later when we start doing stuff with it, but let's zoom in. Okay, so we've got in here a simple calendar. Right. So what we can now do, hit calendar options up at the top. Hit here. Now, I'm going to reiterate something that one of my heroes said. So Marco Russo, SQL BI. This is a mess, okay? It's not a hot mess, it's not a good mess, it's just a mess, right? The calendar options in here, when you build a calendar, makes a huge difference. It makes your time intelligence just work functionally, because it defines, and then fundamentally the DAX engine understands what you mean and what you're doing when you're using certain fields within your calendar. But this screen is a mess, right? So let's try and do a couple of things and work through it, okay? And we'll see, well, this is stupid, okay? So first off, I'm going to create a new calendar, right? We're going to create a Gregorian calendar, okay? Which is, most of your calendars are going to be there. This could be your retail calendar, this could be whatever you want to do, put in there, your corporate calendar, anything, okay? Yeah, we're going to add a category. What we're going to do is we're going to start with the start simple. Yeah, so we'll start with year. Okay, it's going to come all the way, where is it? Year. Oh, I can't see anything. It's already there, that's why. Okay. So, as I say, such a mess, I can't even find what I'm looking for. What column is year? Okay, of course, it's going to be year. Okay. I'm going to go, let's pick something else. So we want month, don't we? Now, got month of year. Which is it that we're going to want? Okay. If you hover over them here, oh my goodness, pressed wrong button, sorry. If we hover over, and I'll press the right button this time, okay, you get a tooltip, okay, and that tooltip tells you what it's expecting, okay. So month, it's expecting a unique month, yeah, a month and year combination. There'd only ever be one month and year. You know, there's only ever one January 2023 in your calendar. There'll be multiple values because potentially you've got, well, you will have one for each day of January 2023, but there's only one January 2023 value, okay? So it's looking for January 2023, but the way it's presented as month makes you think, oh, it wants the month name or a month number, which, no, that was month of year, because of course it was. If we hover over here, we see January. Let's pick month of year, and we'll bring in month name, and we'll associate that as well with month, which should be the number, okay? Because again, you want to sort those things out. And then next we'll put in month, which is now impossible to select because the tooltips get in the way. And that is actually going to be our month-year combination, okay? We can sort that. Let's try this with month offset, okay? Let's see, validate the data. Does not like that. What does it not like? Why would there be a difference in month-year? I'm confused by that. I'll check later as to why that's not right. So the month offset is supposed to be just picks out how many months forward and back from the current month. So month 0 is the month we're in right now. So November 2025. Month -1 would be October. So it should be a unique. So I'm kind of confused why that didn't work. Okay, yeah. I'm interested by that. So hit save and close. So we've saved it, and we've now got our Gregorian calendar is there. So we can now hit done. Okay, so we've got a calendar. Excellent. So we've built a calendar. This has now got the date field associated. The date field is clearly labeled to say date. Okay, so we can now associate that with our rating. So we've got rating date. We can now bring that in to date. Okay, make that relationship active, make it to 1. Okay, we've built something. We can now do that. Our whole model is now built. So that was a really simple starting point, okay? But remember, what have we done? Okay, we've taken a single data point or a single data extract that your business is littered with, okay? Every system that you've got nowadays has got an export data function. Export CSV as XML, like we've just used, as JSON, as CSV, as Excel. All of those kind of are just there, kind of ubiquitous around our organization, and people are going to be collecting those. People have got libraries of these. This was always the point. This was why we built the parkrun data set, was kind of showing it's a retail analog. It's kind of so many businesses that we go into, that we work with. I've got this library of files, don't know what we're doing with it. Okay. As we come back to and we say, big data is about using your data more effectively. It's not about getting more. It would be easy to go to our clients and say, oh, no, ignore all those files you've got. We need to spend lots of money and build a new reporting tool into your system that's going to take it directly from the system and do something with it. Yes, we need to do that. Don't get me wrong. Yes, 100% we need to do it. But if we've got a library already available of kind of exported, used consistently data, it also helps us validate every step along the way. If I go and build something from scratch, say, right, I've built this and my numbers don't tally up with what's being presented to the board, I can guarantee they won't say I've done it right. I might have done it right and the rest of them are wrong, but I can guarantee they won't. If I go through and build a report pack using their data and we come back and go, right, okay, this is the answer you got. We've looked at your business logic to get there from the raw data, because it is raw data 9 times out of 10 that you've got. Something doesn't correspond. Okay, there's a gap, there's a disconnect. We can have that discussion from a position of fact. Okay. If as we mature the process, we uncover there's an issue with the way the extract is formulated, again, we can have that discussion from a position of fact, because we're working from the known good source, which is what the business has. We have a known good source. If our initial play is we're going to go and create a whole new source, everything new, what about that known good source? I don't understand. It's a really difficult sell to go to a client and say, this is wrong. It's a really difficult sell for you within your business to go to your boss and say, well, this report's wrong because I've not written it properly and built using CSV files or XML files. It's rubbish. Use what you have and you'll find it's much easier to expand and grow. And you can then also constantly iteratively improve it. So not only is it going to be cheaper doing your iterative improvements, the results will be better, and you bring the organization with you throughout the journey from day one all the way to the end. So be sure to think about how you process those. The other thing, the way these calendars are built, this whole new calendar thing, yes, the new functionality, the ability to associate DAX in with it is amazing, right? It's completely transformative. The amount of time I've written time intelligence formulas that we try and explain to clients how to write time intelligence formulas, that's kind of going to go. And we'll see that next week as we start to look at DAX, that it's much easier all of a sudden to suddenly just go, oh, we're going to just, the calculations are kind of there. It's then we apply it, but we're just using this calendar. It knows. It's a headache removed, okay? At the month level that we're doing, probably not going to see that much of it. You see the real benefits though when you go down and you actually need to do something in a retail space. Okay, so retail calendars, if you don't know, right, you don't know. If you know, oh, you know, okay? So retail calendars are typically based on a quarter, okay? And they're kind of 3 months in a quarter. And because it's a weekly cycle, you tend to have, and there's not a straight 4 weeks in every month. So you have 2 4s and a 5-week period in there. So you have these like a 4-4-5, a 5-4-4, a 4-5-4, and the variations are huge from it, okay? So it's not an easy one to go, oh, we're going to do this. And then you tie those back into a business quarter. And I've known businesses where you have a retail portion for quarters 1 and quarter 3, and then quarters 2 and quarter 4 have hard month end dates that they end at. So it's not potentially a 4-4-5 or anything like that for those other periods. There might be a subtle variation to it because it goes to a period. It makes life very difficult. These complex corporate calendars can now be tackled with this because you have the ability to be consistent with this is our quarter, this is our month, this is our whatever. So the periodicity is there. And because the periodicity is there, you can get that elasticity of going back. Hey, what was it last year? What are we forecasting for next year? These are amazing to do, and this is transformative. But yeah, it is still a mess. Be sure when you are using them, go through, use the validate, but also check your tooltips. And then lastly, the piece mark I've really called out is golden. You can't see what's in your table from that view. So how do I know which column I'm picking? And we've still got quite a simple calendar, okay? We could go far, far more with it, and we probably should. We should probably build this and really make it a robust, full calendar. And now we've got TMDL view where we can actually start to put it, so we've got all the right all the right columns joining within columns, like month name is sorted by month number. Those kind of things are now all embedded within that. So we're in a much better place. We should probably finish it off. Again, it's just trying to get to that point where we've got the right variables for where's your corporate month, where's your this, where's your that. But we can do it now. And now you've got a calendar option structure that's going to make that work for you. Okay. So we've built, haven't we, simple data model using a simple extract that's allowed us to build something. We could expand that, couldn't we? And in fact, we have. And all we've really needed to do, you could even just, instead of using the way that we built to pick one file, you could pick all of them. So there was a file, there was the one at the top, wasn't there, where the daily extract of everything. Use that. Okay, pull everything through. Use that same model build we've put in, and you'll suddenly find you've got all the local authorities. The challenge you're going to find is you might well find you've got different schemas, which potentially you're going to have to challenge and treat differently. I don't know. How would you tackle that? But what we've got to is this understanding, haven't we, that we've got a structured way of working. And that structured way of working is the piece that enterprise analytics and enterprise BI has to understand, has to embrace. We are always structured in what we do. We work from a position here, and it might be this position is a bag of spanners. Okay, we've got a load of CSV files, we've got a couple of text files, we've got maybe a weird access database somewhere in the back office, no one really knows. That's our position that we start from. Love it. Okay, from there we apply order to that chaos. We can then tackle individual components, industrialize them, improve them, make them better. We've got a platform now, a Power Platform, where we've got Power Apps that can cope with whatever it is that you used to do within your Access database. You've got Dataverse. I've even seen the Northwind database replaced into SharePoint lists. So, we've got robust data structures that are around that can do the work. We just need to work out what it is we want that work to be. And yeah, I wouldn't use SharePoint lists for your database structures, but they can do that if you need them to. Use Dataverse, use the appropriate tools, definitely, okay? The structures will come, but you will only be able to build them when you are considering what it is you're doing and when you are working to partner your organization to bring about their success. Yeah? Okay, I hope that made sense. If it does, drop a like, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you liked, share anything you want to share. This was bang on, this was rubbish. Could you tell me a bit more about? All of those things, let me know. Okay, for now though, stay safe, take care, ta-da.